Oh, here in the car wash because I got nothing else to do for a couple minutes. I mean, I could be working or whatnot, but thought I'd give another update here. And I've had the update for the High Speed Autopilot for a little while now for hardware version 2, and I just used it to go down to Davenport, which is only 20 miles or so, like that. But there's only 2 exits for 10 of those miles or so. And I actually tried getting some work done on my laptop and stuff, and it worked pretty well. I'd say overall, maybe 50% or 60% productivity. And I only really used it on where it's straight and there's not exit entry points because, it's not going to let someone into merge or anything like that. So I just used it on the main straight stretches. And I set up a timer on my laptop for, what the, how often it asks to grab the steering wheel and, make sure that you're actually holding on to the steering wheel and paying attention. And that's like every minute about, it seems like, or a little bit past a minute maybe. I don't know, it kind of depends. I was more paying attention to trying to keep autopilot on than I was on actually keep getting an accurate time. But I would say yes, it's doable. Like the chair slides back far enough, or the seat sits back far enough that it's on my laptop on my lap and pretty comfortably typed. Not the most ergonomic, but yeah, it works pretty well. I was writing a blog post at that point. That's about the easiest thing because you don't have to look as much when you're typing, and I think it's still, because you're going to have to be paying attention every so often to make sure you grab it in time, because if you miss it, you'll have to put it back in park before you can reactivate it. And I don't really want to find out how long that takes. But it always gives an audible warning after the visual ones don't if you don't put your hands on it in time, it'll chime at you. And it's nice too, because if you're jamming out on the radio, it'll turn down the radio to make sure you hear the chime, which it's all through the same speaker system. But so that is nice. But I'd say yeah, it's doable using it as an office. Now, if I was doing something where it's like interactive, like working on the command line or something like that, it's not going to be quite as productive comparatively. But I would say just for doing simple writing, and you're getting your stuff down on into the computer, I guess that's pretty well. And really though, at 1 minute intervals, it breaks your concentration. You still have to grab it, and it doesn't always make, you just can't put your hands in the same spot every time. You can't do, sometimes it seems like you have to jerk the wheel before it believes that you're actually holding on to things. So, kind of unfortunate that way, but I'd still say it's usable. And, it's not as big of a deal if you're only going 65, comparatively, usually I'm trying to drive, whatever I can get away with on the speed limit, and that's, you have your own risk of getting pulled over and then paying a ticket and all that pain in the ass. But like, I just put it on autopilot, and well, I was following a car that's going like 65, like, I don't really care. I'm working on stuff, as long as, it's less likely that I'm going to get pulled over, and so I can sit there and pay attention to my computer. They're not even going to look at me if I'm following the speed limit anyway. Or at least that's the idea. And if they do pull me over, it's like, just put the stuff away, like, sorry officer, what'd you pull me over for? Oh, it looked like you were working on something. It's like, yeah, and it really goes after you got, oh well, I was on autopilot. What do you expect? There's no entries, especially in the rural areas. Like, it's not like there's on and off ramps very often. I'd think over on the East Coast or more densely populated areas, you're not going to be able to do the same type of level of productivity because you have to pay attention to merging and all that fun stuff. But yeah, so it's usable already, and even on a short drive like that, it's not that big of a hassle to do, really. So yeah.